The TVWAN News is proudly brought to you by
BSP, our bank, our people.
Hello and welcome to another edition of TVWAN News. I'm Carol Kido Jr. In this edition, alluvial miners speak out against gold bullion bill, Power Play Awards launched, and Lahani's register first win. The Kutubu Local Level Youth Development Council has launched its 5-year development plan. It is a first of its kind initiative by a local level youth development council in Papua New Guinea. The launch of the 5-year development plan was a culmination of a week-long consultation process funded by the Santos Foundation and supported by the Voice Inc. The occasion took place at the Pimaga station in the Nipa Kutubu district, Southern Highlands province. The development plan was presented to the CEO of the Nipa Kutubu DDA, Camillus Ombalo. The National Gold Corporation Bill 2022 will restrict alluvial miners' access to free markets, meaning they will be forced to sell their gold only to the proposed National Gold Mint. In response to that, small-scale and alluvial miners in the mining districts of Bulolo and Wawaria in Morobe Province protested against the National Gold Corporation Bill on Friday, May 3rd in Wau.
Small-scale and alluvial gold miners in the two mining districts of Bulolo and Wawaria in Morobe Province convoyed into Wau town before entering the Wau Oval to present their petition to local MP Mash Narewe on Friday, May 3rd. The miners are against the government's proposed National Gold Corporation Bill 2022, specifically Sections 215, 216, 227 and 228. Section 215 of the National Gold Corporation Bill says the National Mint is the exclusive refiner of all gold, mined or recovered from land in Papua New Guinea, while Section 216, entitled Gold Refining is Mandatory, dictates that any gold taken from land in PNG must be refined through the National Mint. This means that alluvial miners will not be able to sell their gold at the best market price possible, while Sections 227 and 228 give the National Mint the power to set the price of gold.
Since 1920s, why we're self-reliant yet like that? Why we not need to people of Brahman? Why will Mali look at the Mali coming up now? Liba do not source of living in China. Suppose government is in Libya too, Libya no worry too. Libya can survive. Suppose God is in Libya, yes, and Libya no worry. Now suppose God is not yet, now the money yet, Libya still by survive yet.
Representing leaseholders from Pine Top and Warrior LLG was James Taupa, who stressed on the need for proper consultation.
Almost 90% of people and people work no gold. Time, government will send some loan, confession list, or something will come up now. Small scale mining will look at the momentum blungen. Government will think they'll fund him. Government will think they'll help me. Na government will come to pay me back him.
A petition containing over 400 signatures from leaseholders was then handed to the member for Wawaria, Mash Narewe, to represent the voices of his people in Parliament. Camilla Guare, TVWAN News, Lay.
While Warrior MP Marsh Narewek has supported his people that the National Gold Corporation Bill 2022 will have negative impacts on small-scale mining. He gave the assurance that he will represent the over 400 miners who had signed a petition that was submitted to him on Friday, May 3rd at the WOW Oval in protest of the bill.
Small-scale miners in the districts of Bulolo and Wawaria in Morobe Province have petitioned their members of parliament to vote against the National Gold Corporation Bill 2022. Members of the Morobe Goldfield Small-Scale Miners Association Incorporation, armed with placards and banners, convoyed to the WOW Oval and appealed to the WOW Warrior MP, Marsh Narewe, to fight for their rights at the national level. The association's president, Banzi Zimanga, said the recently proposed National Gold Corporation Bill will effectively create a gold monopoly, which will be disastrous for PNG's alluvial mining sector. Sections 215 and 216 restrict alluvial miners from freely selling the gold at the best possible price and to the buyer of their choice. Instead, under Sections 227 and 228, they will be forced to sell to a private Singaporean company called National Mint at the rate set by it. Narewe accepted the petition on behalf of Bulolo District as well. He reminded the electorate that citizens are benefiting from a number of good policies from the government, such as the tuition fee-free subsidy and the Connect PNG program. However, with the majority of Bulolo and WOW Warrior depending on gold for survival, Narewe believes that his people's concerns need to be taken into account.
Sample bill government pass him, whereby touch him lifelong manmeri. We all rely also entirely lifelong and wider consultation must come up. One example is the National Gold Corporation Bill. There was no wider consultation done at the alluvial miners, with the alluvial miners association or with the leaseholders or with MRA coming down to the leaseholders and association and the artisan miners and the provincial government, local level government. This consultation was not done. So when the people go against something, we as mandated leaders, we must listen to them because they elect us.
Narewe further revealed that the bill, which was set to be submitted in the May Parliament session, has been deferred to give more time for wider stakeholder consultation. Kamela Gware, TVWAN News, Leh.
A local newly built eco-lodge was officially opened on Woodlark Island in the Samarai-Mura district of Milimbe province. The Bay Breeze bungalow was opened by the member for Samarai-Mura and Minister for Tourism, Arts and Culture, Isi Henry Leonard, during his recent visit to Guasopa Station.
In his remarks, Minister Leonard pointed out the importance of safeguarding the environment so that eco-tourism can be developed in the rural areas. He encouraged the people of Woodlark to learn from the concept of the eco-lodge and tourism, adding that his ministry will continue to support those locals who were serious about engaging in tourism activities.
So this is the idea that we must now promote. And for me as tourism minister, I would like to encourage the people of Woodlark, whether you are from Buriburi, you are from Iwa, Gawa, wherever you come from, learn from this concept. Because I'm coming around to make sure that I help you set your what do you call your eco lodge like what Raka is doing here. I will go around and see those people who are keen and interested in tourism. We will develop this idea.
Oh, beautiful
Leonard emphasized that in his time as member and minister, he wants to make Samarai-Mura the hub of tourism. Minister Leonard encouraged his people to take courage on work on tourism initiatives and develop the concepts in their respective areas. The 6-bedroom Eco Lodge is owned by local islander Raka Aledi and family. The lodge housed its first guests that included government officials from Investment Promotion Authority, Office of Climate Change Development Authority, and the Tourism Promotion Authority, who had traveled to Woodlark Island with the member. Aledi thanked Minister Leonard for officially opening the bungalow and for the continuous support to help develop and improve the facility. Minister Leonard, when opening the facility, thanked Prime Minister James Marape and Deputy Prime Minister John Rosso, with the government for having the confidence in the people of Samarai Murua through his appointment as the Minister for Tourism, Art and Culture. Leonard is determined to work smarter and harder in helping develop and improve the tourism industry in his district and the country. Susan Oreape, TVWAN News.
The Farmers and Settlers Association have warned that specific interventions need to be addressed in the agriculture sector in order for PNG to meet the government's focus on commercializing agriculture under the Millennium Term Development Plan 4 and National Agriculture Strategic Plan 2034 in order to contribute 30 billion kina to the GDP and create 2 million jobs by 2030.
The Highlands Farmers and Settlers Association, Inc. organized 2 seminar sessions recently at the National Research Institute in the nation's capital and at the Sports Institute in Goroka regarding the outcomes of the World Bank-funded Productive Partnership Arrangement project in agriculture. President for Farmers and Settlers Association Wilson Thompson shared that the PPAP focused on coffee and cocoa from 2010 to 2020 due to declining production and productivity. According to the presentation, it revealed that although PPAP did what it intended to do, there were also other interventions towards agriculture. Despite the cumulative inputs, the NRI presentation showed that from 2001 to 2022, aggregate and real production is on decline for agriculture. The total value of exports increased, but that is caused by price, and any responses seem to be by price, and investment may need to be reviewed. Thompson clarified that the government may need to address the declining production levels of cocoa, coconut, rubber, coffee, or livestock or oil palm by getting commercial farming, blocks and plantations on track. So many interventions, yet not much improvement. The MTDP4 and Strategic Development Plan 2010-2030 has placed emphasis on increased agriculture production and targets, but Farmers and Settlers Association think it may be too ambitious if PNG does not undertake specific and targeted interventions in each district and province. Jasmine Jack, TVWAN News.
You're watching TV1 News. Karikuhiri MP continues work on district, including welcoming a new ambulance to Vefa'a catchment.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
Hiya, Mama. You wait then, but me add him special flavor.
Put in more flavor, put in more taste. Magic kakaro, get up a big smile on face. Time for kimchi and a great kumutu. Sip, sip, the moo, yes, magic on you.
Maggi, the taste PNG loves.
Open Lens.
Favorite meal for the day does feel good. Snacks noodles is my choice for a simple meal. It is easy to prepare and fast to cook. And with a touch of flavor and ingredients, quality noodles that can be cooked and enjoyed in many different ways. You see, my whole family loves it. It's made here in PNG and comes in different pack sizes. Snacks noodles, tastier but you like it more.
More clean, more sweet. Flame natural white sugar. Make more.
After the success of her first restaurant in Goa, Sarah Todd is doing it all again.
Oh my God, it's happening.
This time in Mumbai.
It's pretty hectic here, people everywhere.
New location
Exciting, but crazy at the same time.
and a whole new set of problems.
I've got some bad news.
Oh, there's so much pressure coming from every angle. Why am I doing it again?
My second restaurant in India. A brand new series coming soon on Outdoor.
From the network that brought you modern marvels, not all inventions are used with good intentions. Electricity harnessed for electrocution. Altitude records shattered to commit espionage. An innocent umbrella in the hands of an assassin. Witness the sinister side of innovation. Dark Marvels.
Welcome back. In a significant judicial reversal, Peter Isoaimo, the Member of Parliament for Kairuku, has been reinstated after a successful appeal to the Supreme Court. He has vowed to address law and order issues, which is top of the agenda for the district. It was a jubilant affair back home for Kairuku MP Peter Isoaimo as his people welcomed him back, ready to see what their leader had planned for development after a lengthy court battle. Isoaimo's return to office comes after the National Court had previously ousted him on charges of bribery, a decision overturned due to procedural errors cited by the higher court. The Supreme Court, highlighting deficiencies in the initial trial's pleadings, ruled that there was insufficient evidence to prove that Isoaimo had knowledge of or had assisted in the alleged bribery carried out by his campaign coordinator. This pivotal decision allows Isoaimo to resume his duties as a lawmaker representing the Central Province District. Welcomed warmly by his constituents over the weekend, Isoaimo expressed relief and readiness to focus on pressing district issues, particularly the escalating law and order problems. He said that so much time has been lost to lengthy legal battles, emphasizing the urgency to address community safety concerns, heightened by increasing disarray and fear.
I have good plans under law and order. And I tell you what, it's very tough. It's going to be very, very tough this time. My committees under my house agreed that we should take the harsh line now.
Isoaimo plans to collaborate closely with police and community leaders to strengthen safety measures and restore peace, underscoring his commitment to his constituents in the limited time he has before the next election cycle. Meantime, the Kairuku MP encountered a collapsed bridge on the Arapokena section of the Hiritano Highway while en route to deliver an ambulance to St. Gerard's Health Center in Veifa'a. The bridge, critical for travel between Kairuku and Gulf Province, has been compromised by recent floods and has remained damaged for 2 weeks. Isoaimo, expressing deep concern over this vital national infrastructure, has urgently appealed to the Department of Works and Highways for emergency repairs.
This very road is used by Kairuku and Gulf travelers, Gulf Province, and it's a vital national government asset. And, all I can say is ask the good Minister for Works and the Honorable Solon Merison and Secretary for Works, David Vere, to see if they can disperse some contractors to do some emergency work on it, because as it is, it's pretty dangerous and for both motorists and travelers on the highway. So I'm only pleading as the member who's been recently reinstalled by the courts last Friday. A lot in my electorate has deteriorated, but obviously this is what we see now as an urgent matter to be attended to. So my plea to the good minister and the secretary, if they can help us fix up this road for benefit of all of us.
In a heartfelt ceremony at Vefa's St. Gerard's Health Center and School of Nursing, local member for Kairuku Peter Isoaimo presented a new ambulance addressing a long-standing need in the community. The event was marked by vibrant celebrations with students, staff and locals welcoming the delegation with traditional song and dance. St. Gerard's Health Center and School of Nursing in Vefaha celebrated the arrival of a new ambulance and significant funding commitments provided by member for Kairuku Peter Isoaimo in a ceremony filled with community enthusiasm. Highlighting the impact of the donation, the staff of Gerard Health Center expressed deep gratitude, stating for them in the hospital, an ambulance isn't just a vehicle, it's a lifeline. It ensures continued patient care from their center to Port Moresby General Hospital. Many challenges were reflected that have been faced over the past 3 years due to the absence of a functional ambulance, emphasizing that this gift was not just a utility but a blessing. Further bolstering the community's healthcare infrastructure, Isoaimo announced financial commitments of 200,000 kina each to St. Gerard's Health Center and the School of Nursing. These funds are intended to enhance service delivery and patient care, with the first secretary instructed to expedite the approval and payment process. The ceremony concluded with a formal blessing of the ambulance by Father Lawrence and the key handover by member Isoaimo, symbolizing a new chapter in healthcare accessibility for the people of Vefa. And now to the finance news. The kina closed unchanged at $0.2623 US in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, our kina was buying $0.2548 US, $0.3825 Australian dollars, $0.2292 euro, and 38.74 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York close, gold, cocoa, palm oil, crude oil, and copper closed higher. Coffee and copra closed the day lower. And on the stock market, the Dow Jones closed higher, the ASX closed higher, and all ordinaries closed higher as well. TV1 News continues after the break with news making headlines overseas. Stay tuned.
Experience a convenient and smarter way to do your banking with BSB Mobile Banking. You don't have to leave the office or your home to pay for bills. You can view your account balance, transfer funds, top up phone credits, or purchase Easy Pay units wherever you are. Visit your BSB branch today to register now for BSB Mobile Banking. BSB Mobile Banking, the smarter way to bank. BSB, our bank, our people.
A true champion is measured by their courage, their determination, and their passion to never give up and to always keep trying. With a delicious Milo and milk taste and added nutrients, Milo and milk is a great way to fuel our little champions with nourishing energy every day. Because true champions give it their all.
Milo, PNG and Mia. Pine PNG made.
Harimol got the rice lovers. Mi plaga 300,000 kina scale school money long win him.
Sans belong you low winning 1,000 kina. 300 per lucky line by winning inside long 4 plus fortnight. Sans belong you low win a big plus thread. By 1 kg, it going up 20 kg scale or ori rice. Cut him this stamp, na put him inside long envelope and the full name, na contact details long you, na drop him inside long entry box long store. Promotion by Pinis long March 29, 2024. Hurry up now win big plus 1 scale na ori rice. Piani mi plus social media long save more. Terms na conditionista.
Beauty is my business, but beauty sure is a tough game. Filters are great, but great skin, better. And that's why my skin deserves the best. So I choose self-care, soaps that gently nourish my skin, resulting in a radiant look, made with tropical ingredients. I trust self-care from City Pharmacy, so bring it on! My skin is ready and so am I.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Hennow, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always Trukai. Trukai, true inspiration through generations.
Catch the marvelous misadventures of Flapjack every Monday to Friday at 4 p.m. on HBO Family.
Somewhere out there is a woman born to play this role. A woman who will journey into the heart of the unknown.
Welcome back. The move by the Asian Development Bank to promote itself as a climate bank for Asia-Pacific region has been welcomed by its 14 Pacific developing member states. Papua New Guinea, Fiji, Solomon Islands and Vanuatu are part of the 14 Pacific developing member states. They have challenged the ADB to ensure that practical fit-for-purpose policies are in place for small island developing states. In February 2024 this year, the Pacific witnessed the devastation these spring tides on low-lying atolls. The Pacific thanked ADB for the increase in loan concession and asked that efforts continue to increase grant availability. In regional news, living in smog-filled cities can feel stifling, but there's a place in Australia where the air is so clean it's considered among the purest in the world. On the far northwestern tip of Tasmania sits Kananook, Cape Grim. Winds blowing in from the wild southwest brings air that's free from pollution. So scientists use the site to monitor the planet's baseline atmosphere, and they are now embarking on a new project to unlock a mystery in the Southern Ocean that could further help in understanding the impact of climate change.
It's a place that feels like the edge of the world, where a wild and rugged coastline is frequently lashed by winds carrying some of the purest air on the planet.
The air, I don't know if it's just me, but it's so crisp and clean. And you feel like you can breathe it properly. It's magnificent.
While locals love the northwest tip of Tasmania, scientists are also making the most of its unique location.
When the wind blows in from the sea, it's travelled across the Southern Ocean from as far away as Antarctica, meaning it's avoided the contaminants like dust from land masses and the dirty pollution of cities.
The air here under baseline conditions is very, very clean. So it's 1,000 times cleaner in terms of the number of particles than that you would measure in Melbourne, for example. And that's Melbourne on a good day.
The Kenilworth Cape Grim Air Monitoring Station was set up almost 50 years ago. Its measurements are considered to be an accurate baseline of the global atmosphere because it's free from that local contamination.
In a nutshell, we measure our greenhouse gases and ozone-depleting substances. We also measure the aerosols and reactive gases.
Through a series of instruments, air gets channeled into a laboratory where high-tech gadgets analyse the physical and chemical properties of the incoming flow. 6 times a year, liquid nitrogen is used to chill high-pressure tanks that suck in thousands of litres of baseline air, adding to an archive that now dates back almost 5 decades.
And what it's enabled us to do is, by filling multiple cylinders per year over many years, that we can go back and actually analyse old air when we get new instrumental techniques.
The Air Archive reflects the human impact on the planet's rapidly changing atmosphere, which has seen a 25% rise in carbon dioxide since the first tank was filled in the late 1970s. But while scientists have a clear picture of the past, the computations used to forecast future changes are lacking critical data.
Almost all of that uncertainty in climate models has to do with our ability to, or our lack of ability to represent clouds very, very well.
Australian and US researchers have now teamed up here at Kenilworth Cape Grim as part of an international mission designed to unravel some of the mysteries of clouds in the Southern Ocean.
When clouds form in freezing conditions, tiny particles like dust and pollution can trigger ice crystals to develop. But because the air is cleaner in the Southern Ocean, the water droplets remain in a supercool liquid state. These liquid clouds reflect more sunlight back into space, which means less heat is absorbed by the ocean. This phenomenon isn't accurately accounted for in current climate models.
So we have a lot of instruments, radars and LiDARs and cameras that are constantly scanning these clouds to tell us what kind they are, how high they are, what they're made of, do they have ice, are they supercooled liquid.
The Cloud project is set to run for the next 18 months, providing critical information that scientists hope can better prepare us for the changing climate.
Israel has ordered the local offices of Qatar's Al Jazeera satellite news network to close, escalating a long-running feud between the broadcaster and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's government as Doha-mediated ceasefire negotiations with Hamas hung in the balance. The order, which includes confiscating broadcast equipment, preventing the broadcast of the channel's reports, and blocking its websites, is believed to be the first time Israel has ever shuttered a foreign news outlet. The network has reported the Israeli-Hamas war non-stop since Hamas' initial cross-border terror attack on October 7th and has maintained 24-hour coverage in the Gaza Strip. It's an area with a rapidly growing indigenous population where many families have complex needs. But in Dandenong, in Melbourne's southeast, a vital centre for Aboriginal health is falling apart and now is in need of urgent support.
50 years, this community hub and medical clinic has been a lifeline for Indigenous families in Melbourne. Aboriginal elders meet weekly for lunch here at the Dandenong District Aborigines Co-op. But these buildings are falling apart.
The facility is just crumbling, falling away and cracking. That had to be all replaced.
The roof and walls here are cracking, the front door deemed too dangerous to use, and medical specialists are using storage rooms to treat patients.
It's depressing at times to come in. Quite often, if it's heavy rain, we get water running down the walls. There was one time I had to send all the staff home because I couldn't guarantee their safety with the electrical equipment.
Aboriginal leaders are desperately trying to get both the state and federal governments to step in.
No one, state or Commonwealth governments, take responsibility for Aboriginal infrastructure. They are suffering
This area is home to one of the fastest growing Indigenous populations in the country.
Nowhere for the elders to go if they want to go in for respite, and I think it's a bit appalling.
The local federal MP Julian Hill has told ABC News the situation is unacceptable.
The current facility is without doubt the worst in Victoria. The building should have been condemned and torn down years ago. State and Commonwealth agencies point at each other. It falls between the cracks.
The service says it needs about $24 million to buy new land to rebuild, to care for families who urgently need support.
The minimum penalty for taxi and rideshare drivers who refuse to take passengers with guide dogs will more than triple in New South Wales. Guide dogs are legally allowed to go anywhere their handlers are, but authorities say discrimination against people who rely on the animals is rampant across the state.
With guide dog Bess by her side, Jackie Armstrong says she's been able to work, study, travel and live the life she wants to.
Not only do they as a person with low vision, does she help me get around safely and confidently, you also have a companion with you.
With a 2-year-old daughter in one hand and Bess's harness in another, Ms Armstrong often relies on taxis and rideshare services to get from point A to point B. It's something so many people do, but for this trio, it's never a simple task.
The more confronting ones are when you walk up to a taxi at a taxi rank, and obviously there are ranks, so they're available. You'll be approaching one and they'll either drive off suddenly. I suppose the more frustrating ones, even then, are when I'll go to open the door and I'll be told, no, you can't get in with your dog.
That kind of discrimination is not only disheartening, but illegal.
Everywhere you can go, guide dogs can too.
The fine for refusing service to guide dog handlers and their animals has been $300 since 2017. But now the penalty could be up to $3,000 more for taxi and rideshare drivers who discriminate.
Sadly, we have seen complaints come in from people with disabilities being rejected from rideshare.
Look, you'd think after 30 years of the Disability Discrimination Act, this wouldn't be occurring as regularly, but we're hearing that it's a daily occurrence for our community.
For Ms Armstrong and Bess, it's hoped the penalties lead to more reliable rides.
Back home, the second annual Power Play Awards Papua New Guinea kicked off with a networking lunch at the Hilton Hotel this morning, Monday, 6 May. Hosted by ExxonMobil, the event celebrated key figures and innovations in the LNG and decarbonization industries, coinciding with the 10th anniversary of the start of the PNG LNG project. The Power Play Awards PNG, organized by ExxonMobil, has returned to spotlight trailblazers in the LNG and decarbonization industries at a networking event this morning at the Hilton Hotel. ExxonMobil's initiative aimed at enhancing female representation and acknowledging crucial contributions from industry partners has expanded this year to include the decarbonization sector. This move reflects a growing trend towards sustainable energy practices. Tara Chandro, Chairperson and Managing Director at ExxonMobil PNG, highlighted the role of storytelling in the event, emphasizing the unique achievements within the industry.
Power Play, for those of you that are not familiar with it, is a global program that was developed by ExxonMobil. This will be its 6th year, to bring together women and the men who uphold the importance of supporting and empowering others to network, collaborate, and share success.
Dr. Jane Mogina, a biodiversity and IFC advisor at Total Energies PNG, was named pioneer for developing PNG's first LNG biodiversity offset program. This initiative has discovered numerous new species and established the PNG LNG's project's environmental program credibility.
You need to set goals, and that's what I would encourage young people leaving university. Set goals, work hard. If you go sideways, it's okay to go sideways. Use those as opportunities and go forward. Thank you.
Jerry Albaniel, a professional cinematographer and 2023 Power Play PNG finalist, has inspired many with his storytelling, through cinematography. His career exemplifies the importance of non-technical roles in driving the growth of the LNG industry through a sector-wide collaboration.
Yeah, so don't hesitate to step forward and make your voice heard. Your contributions matter and your potential is limitless. Thank you.
The 2024 awards introduced 4 categories, recognized various industries' contributors: the Rising Star category, the Low Carbon Accelerator, the Ambassador Honours, and finally the Pioneer Awards. Anita Mosby, Biodiversity Supervisor at ExxonMobil PNG and advocate of the Power Play Awards, called on local professionals to seize this global opportunity. Nominations for the awards are open until Friday, 14th June 2024. And that ends the news segment. I'll return with all the details of Round 4 of Digital ExxonMobil Cup.
Hi, I'm Chef Jules Henow, and this is where my true inspiration for cooking started. Like most of us, I learned to cook from my mum. Nothing beats simple recipes where fresh local produce is at the heart, especially when it's a home-cooked meal, prepared and shared with the ones you love. And in PNG, no meal is complete without rice. And my choice is always True Guy. True Guy, true inspiration through generations.
The PNG LNG project has a positive and long-lasting impact on the whole country. Revenue is delivered through 5 streams. Equity distributions are paid to KPHL and MRDC based on the interest they hold. Tax is paid to IRC, while development levy and royalties are paid to DPE. For more information on direct and indirect benefits, visit PNG EITI's website.
Life is filled with unexpected twists and turns. But as a public servant, your healthcare, life insurance, and family security matters most. Introducing the Public Service New Care Association, PSNA. Your life's partner in healthcare, life insurance, and guaranteed financial security. With PSNA, you receive quality healthcare services and immediate payment coverage using our smart card. Join the Public Service New Care Association today and experience the benefits that matter most. We are here for you today and tomorrow. PSNA, your partner in health and future security.
If you're a farm noob, come along. Come along if you are a plant otaku.
I'll just kind of like stroke them, as if they are like hairs of a woman.
Because I am a plant otaku too. While this is clearly a series about plants,
$420? Oh my goodness. Mine costs $12.
no, $8. It is also about much more.
We do more than just farming. We run an experiential activity.
When did you last look at a recipe, only to wing it instead?
This dish will change every single day, depending on what is available.
When did you last colour outside the lines? We weren't always tame, so can we ever reclaim that wildness we lost to our urban way of life? Come along. I meet folks who are colouring outside the lines and reclaiming their verdant selves before we were tamed on Growing Wild.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. In lifting the standard of junior tennis development in the country, the Port Moresby Rackets Club on the weekend launched tournaments aimed at setting up a proper junior ranking system. The launch on Sunday, May 5, 2024, coincided with the wrap-up of the Scale Rice Junior Tournament.
Must be based children and encourages parents to bring their kids to the tennis club every Tuesdays, Thursdays and Saturdays. Meantime, in a thrilling weekend of sport, more than 50 young tennis enthusiasts aged 5 to 16 showcased their skills at the Scale Rice Junior Tennis Tournament at the Port Moresby Rackets Club. IC expressed his gratitude to Goodman Fielder, particularly the Scale Rice brand, for the support in fostering junior sports development, labeling the tournament a success. The POM Rackets Club has seen a lot of success in its junior tennis stars in Hakena siblings Sugar Ray, Colita and River Jordan, who currently hold junior rankings in PNG and Oceania. These talented siblings have earned tennis scholarships and are honing their skills overseas. Their youngest sibling, 6-year-old Hebrews Bubiang, made her tournament debut in the under 8 and 10 categories on the weekend tournament, marking the beginning of her promising tennis journey. Susan Oreape, TVWAN Sports.
2023 Digital ExxonMobil Cup Grand Final runners-up Bintango Goroka Lahanis finally registered their first win of the 2024 season after overcoming a spirited young PRK Gulf ISO outfit 14 points to 8 in a low-scoring battle of the cellar dwellers at the Santos National Football Stadium. Going into Sunday's main draw card of the triple header, both teams had remained winless since the opening round, and Lahanis, though, had the luxury of fielding majority of their 2023 Grand Final playing group, had to fight tooth and nail to get the points against a young, resilient ISO line who up only had a handful of seasoned players.
After a number of consecutive sets in the opening exchanges, Bintango Goroka Lahanis and PRK Gulf ISO had to dig deep for points. ISO were first to post points from 2 successful penalty kicks to lead 4-0 before Lahanis hit back with an unconverted try, leveling the scores at 4-all. The desperation and hunger for the first win of the season was the main catalyst as the pace and physicality of the game intensified and escalated a few times. Players were cautioned or placed on report by match referee for dangerous play. After they were humbled by the little-known Kimber Cutters at the National Sports Institute in Goroka in front of their home crowd last week, the Lahanis had some soul-searching to do. Captain Charlie Buka, Thompson Tete, Christopher Urakose, Zebedi Uruba, and man of the match Philip Ivike were called on to step up, and they did. Lahanis were equally dangerous out the back, manned by the ever-reliable Joseph Moke, Manu Olam, Kafu Kent, and Sefer Diet, who had the edge over an inexperienced but brave Gulf ISO side. Lahanis scored in the first and second halves respectively with a penalty kick for their 14 points. ISO's lone try, scored by their promising young lanky number 3 Emmanuel Caravo in the second half for their 8 points. Only seconds before full-time, the Gulf boys showed some great fighting spirit and resilience, working the ball back into Lahanis' half with some slick ball handling that saw fullback Michael Timothy diving over on the right-hand corner for a grandstand finish, only to be ruled no try by the video referee for obstruction play. The young and resilient ISO lineup only had a handful of seasoned players led by Captain Courageous Eliakim Lukara, Michael Timothy, Kenny Laho, Jester Kumo, and Ezekiel Yaru. They kept turning up to keep the Lahanis on check throughout the entire grueling encounter. In the end, they fell short by a converted try. Lahanis coach Gonzalo Urakuse expressed relief and commended his boys for their effort, saying the sacrifice and hard work over the past few months finally paid off.
We really, after in the win, we didn't get it after 3 losses, and this win really compensates the effort that put so far, and it sums up the whole month of preparation.
Well, actually, we put our heads down record. Because first three games we're going to lose, win. We lose comes when Monkey put go down. We're thinking that now was them come 10 around so eventually we win. So I think performance we just put heads down record gaining meters, and that's what Forge Roblox for Forge meters play in test race.
Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
In other results, Lae-based PRK Mendi Muruks remained undefeated after picking up their fourth straight win over Moniplus NCDC Port Moresby Vipers on Sunday to stay at the top of the Digicel ExxonMobil Cup table on 8 points at the conclusion of round 4. Muruks remain in the lead on the points ladder with 8 points, followed by Eagles and Cutters on 6, and the Wigmen and Gurias on 5 points apiece. It was another weekend of low-scoring matches and upsets with some controversy. The Gas Resources Central Dabaris and Wampna Mount Hagen Eagles match in Minj on Saturday ended in an 18-all draw at full-time. It is understood the PNG NRLC Match Review Committee is awaiting a full report from the match officials following an incident where a Sin Bend Eagles player defied match official orders and continued to play. In other results, Croton Hella Wigmen held defending premiers KMH Enga Miox to a 16-all draw in Port Moresby on Sunday. In the earlier game, West New Britain Provincial Government Kimbe Cutters continued their fairy tale run with another upset win over Asilawagi Tumbe. Meanwhile, while in Lae, East New Britain Agmac Gurias are back in the winner's circle after accounting for the Lae Snacks Tigers 26 points to 12, preceded by the Muruks Vipers clash that saw Muruks prevailed 16-12 to stay undefeated. The West New Britain Provincial Government-sponsored Kimbe Cutters have kicked off their 2024 Digicel ExxonMobil Cup campaign in the best possible way after recording back-to-back wins over the past 2 weeks and currently sit third position on the points table.
On Sunday, the fast-finishing West New Britain Provincial Government-sponsored Kimbe Cutters cruised past Asilawagi Tumbe at the Santos National Football Stadium to record their straight second win in the space of 2 weeks following last week's big upset over Bintagor Gorokalahanis in Goroka. Not to mention, Cutters' fairy tale run actually started back in round 1 when they turned the tables on favourites Lae Snakes Tigers at their home ground, the Peter Humphreys Oval in Kimbe, making it 3 out of 4 to kick off their new season with confidence. Only their 5th year in the NRLC since 2019. The main man behind the Cutters' early season surge is former PNG Hunters winger and Ramal Guria's fullback Albert Patak, who had to relinquish his head trainer job last year to take up the new role as Cutters' head coach in 2024. Following their upset win against Lahanis in round 3, the team stayed back in Port Moresby to prepare for Sunday's round 4 clash against Tumbe. Despite a sloppy start on Sunday, Cutters eventually got on the front foot early to post first points and dominated field territory and possession to starve their opposition off the ball for majority of the match. Halfway through second half, Cutters were leading 14-4 before Tumbe fought their way back with a try to trail 8-14. But Cutters' attacking prowess continued with centre Anthony Longa and winger Robertson Gala causing problems for Tumbe defence on the left edge with some support play from their number 9 and man of the match Jethro John, who was always dangerous out of dummy half. Fullback and captain Ja Hogan and Henry Lillicat in the spine also played a big part in the victory. A late Cutters try put the final score at 18-8 Cutters' favour. Since coming on board as head coach, Patak showed great faith in the new talents from the local league and started blending them in with the experience in his playing squad, which is starting to come together. The new look Cutters had a good balance of youth and experience that can cause problems for some of the heavyweights in the competition this year. Tumbe also showed some brilliance in attack but were unable to execute their set plays due to drop balls and ill discipline. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
New Zealand have claimed a famous double on the SVNS series for the second time in as many events, with the Black Fern Sevens and All Black Sevens taking out cup final glory in Singapore on Sunday evening.
Both Kiwi teams emerged victorious at the prestigious Hong Kong Sevens early last month, and after a few weeks back in New Zealand, they've come back and done it again by overcoming tough opposition in two great deciders. The Black Fern Sevens lined up alongside arch-rivals Australia before making their way out onto the field at Singapore's National Stadium. While this may come as a surprise, this was only their second meeting in a cup final this season in Dubai in December. New Zealand had been hit hard across the three-day event, with Olympic gold medalists Tyler King and Shelley Kaka both suffering injuries, but the depth in the squad showed they beat the Aussies to claim the SVNS Series League's title. Michaela Blythe stood out with a decisive hat-trick, and veteran Portia Woodman and Wycliffe and Tracy Walker also added to score as the Kiwis ran away with a dominant 31-21 win. But the player of the final was rightfully Georgia Miller. In the final match of the tournament, the All Black Sevens looked to deny Ireland what would have been the first ever cup final triumph on the series. Ireland had looked good coming into the final, to having beaten Argentina and Great Britain. Terry Longwood, TVWAN Sports.
And that's all we have for sports. Now to the weather forecast for the main centers for the next 24 hours. Southern region, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms with areas of rain. Possible riverine and flash flooding over western province. Momase, scattered showers and thunderstorms with some areas of rain. Lae, some rain and possible thunderstorm. New Guinea Islands, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms. Lorengau, some rain showers and possible thunderstorms. Highlands, scattered showers and isolated thunderstorms with areas of rain. Goroka, Barnes and Kundiawa, partly cloudy with some showers and possible thunderstorms. Ocean forecast. Coral Sea, seas moderate to strong with southeast winds of 20 to 25 knots, reaching 33 knots. Bismarck Sea, seas smooth to slight with southeast to northeast winds of 5 to 15 knots. Coastal waters forecast. Waters of southern PNG and Indonesian border to Daru, to Kiwai Islands, to Kerema, to Yule Island, to Hood Point, to Samari Islands. Seas 1.5 to 2 meters, rising to 2.5 to 3 meters along mooring areas. Waters of Samari Island to Cape Bogle and all Millen Bay Islands. Seas 1.5 to 2.5 meters. Waters of Bougainville, seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters. And that has been another edition of TV1 News. Thanks for your company. Bye for now.
The TV1 News was proudly brought to you by BSP, our bank, our people.